The USC is where you really want to go for most of your research on fasting. So the University of Southern California, their gerontology department has been looking at this now for almost 2 decades. In doing it, they've noticed that it reduces inflammation across the board. It has been shown with chemotherapy in patients going through cancer to reduce chemotherapy effects by 80%. So that's the hair loss, that's the nausea, it's the sickness, it's all the stuff that when people fast. Now, they never did a 16-8, but the thing I'll tell you, if you look at it across the board, we know that if you can time your food, okay, and put it in windows of time, it allows the body an opportunity to filter and get rid of stuff. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to stress organs and tissues. The incident of doing a heart like that at that kind of level, I would greatly debate. One of my mentors, Stephen Buhner, the guy was a top really herbologist in the world. He wrote a book on fasting at one time and said, look, if you can fast long enough, it'll clear the plaque in an artery. It'll get rid of it completely. So now you have 2 different things.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's like
just contradicting
complete
themselves.
opposites.
So
right?
you think, and what I'm thinking, because I obviously didn't read the whole thing either. I was just like, whoa, hey, hold on, big headline.
Yeah,
clickbait,
no, it's a great headline.
Clickbait, right? Yeah. It made me question, okay, maybe it's the type of food people are putting in their body in that 8 hours. You think that might have a lot to do?
It could.
Because we're definitely not healthy eaters.
No, and we don't know the parameters of it at all, right?
Right.
So you have no idea what the parameters are. You don't know the age group they're looking at. You don't know any aspect of that thing. So you have to look at that. But the reality of it is that the idea that if you put your food into a small window like that, a timed window, and it causes all this massive chaotic stress on the heart, then every dog that we all own would be dead, because we all feed our dog either once in the morning, once at night, and usually in an 8-hour window. They'd all be dead. Every wild animal that hunts, that eats once every 3 days on average, would be dead. It doesn't make any sense. So it's a great headline, but to read it and why, because literally, if you look at a tiger, for example, we know physiologically that a tiger fails in its hunt about 60% of the time.
Oh, wow.
So you figure this thing's at the peak of its game. It is one of nature's most efficient killers. And it fails 60% of its hunts. So you think, all right, this thing's super hungry, and when it's all charged up and full of energy, it fails 60% of the time.
Gotcha.
So the next day when it's out there, it's not as energetic, right? It doesn't, and it fails already. Does it now fail 70? Does it fail 80? They become extinct. And that's not what happens. We know that when you get the body to fast like a wild animal does, when you get it to fast like that, because it's forced to, that its senses start to heighten, all of them. Its sight, its smell, its reflexes, everything starts to sharpen. And they will continue to sharpen more and more and more up to a point. The point is when starvation kicks in, and that's usually beyond 10 to 12, 14 days.
Right.
So for the 5, 6, 7 days of fasting in a tiger, for example, it gets faster, stronger, quicker, sharper. Wouldn't it have a heart attack?
Yeah, I know.
Something to think about.